What's going on, everyone? I'm Tyler Shelton. This is Coffee with a Bearded Reviewer, and this is a different segment of my channel, and this is the Sarcasm Review. And so the Sarcasm Reviews is meant for those movies or shows that are not really the best ones, so I'm just going to be kind of like sarcastic, and I will make some pointers about like why I consider these ones to be the worst ones, but without that out of the way, there will be spoilers in these reviews, so let's get started with today's review. So anyways, this is going to be my very first review for the movie Fant4Stic. Even just saying it out loud just makes me mad. But I have to get through this, okay? So let's get started with today's review. Where to begin with this? Oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this movie without getting all so furious about this movie. You know, just thinking about it. Screw it. I have to. I need to get a little bit buzzed in order for me to get this working. But let's make my coffee Irish, shall we? I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. So, Fant4Stic here. All I have to say about this movie is it's a good movie. It's so good that I think the visual effects is so good. Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this sarcasm here. But I thought they did a good job with the story, and I think they did a good job with casting a good crew, and that right there is not sarcastic, because I thought they hired the right kind of actors. Like, I definitely think that everyone who got involved with this movie, and I'm being truthful here, is that I really do think that the likes of Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, and Jamie Bell, I thought they actually did a pretty good job doing what they could do with this movie. But you can't tell but just notice that there was so much studio interference by Fox. Like, it's just so clear as day that there was so much stuff done to this movie that, like, you just don't know what is going on with this movie, because oh my gosh, it really makes me furious. Anyways, like I said before, I still think that the casting choices were actually pretty good. Like, I do think that they did everything they can with their acting abilities to sell their characters, and I thought Michael B. Jordan was good for being the Human Torch, Miles Teller for being Mr. Fantastic, Kate Mara was good, and Jamie Bell as the Thing. I thought they all were good for what they were given, but they didn't get so much to work with, especially to have creative control, because all the creative control was stripped away from Josh Trank when he directed this movie. It's just because he had so much creative differences between the production company. I mean, this is by far some of the worst movies ever made. Anyways, like I said before, is that I really do think that this movie was a complete train wreck from the very beginning. When Josh Trank, he even said this before the movie came out, is that he just hated the movie that he created because he was forced into making this movie. And so just the fact that the director just didn't like it, like, he came out, said it on Twitter before the movie came out. So that is a one big red flag, and he just mentioned how much studio interference there was, and with the story, you just don't know what is going on. Like, I just couldn't believe how bad the writing was, the script, everything ranging from anything that had to do with writing. Like, it was just so poorly done, and I think the one character that just didn't get the true justice was Doctor Doom. And oh my gosh, I just. I just couldn't believe what they would did with his character. Every time when I saw him, it just made me so mad. Especially that, like, where did some of these powers come from? Because these are powers that Doctor Doom does not have. Like, he would just walk in the room, and then all of a sudden you would see characters be splatted all over the walls. You're seeing one guy, he just goes like, "Oh no, no, no!" Then you see him just pushed aside, and then you just see a big splat on the wall. Then he just drops dead. That's a power that Doctor Doom does not have. But yeah, I thought Doctor Doom was the very butt of all the jokes, and this movie, they tried to keep things very gritty, very realistic. But this is the Fantastic Four. This is the first family, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was a movie that was just meant to be rushed to the theaters, because I'm pretty sure they were on the verge of losing their property yet again, because they did the same thing with the very first Fantastic Four movie, is that they actually made the movie just in order to keep the property. So they have no desire to make a good movie. They did not take time and effort to make a good movie. I can at least say that I thought just the way that they had the characters get their powers, I thought that was okay. And you can definitely tell that after they got the powers, the government is all like, "Oh, these are people with extraordinary powers. So let's utilize them. They're now part of the U.S. government." And I can understand what they were trying to aim for. Like, that would be something that maybe the government would do. But like I said before, this is the Fantastic Four, and this is meant to be a family-related movie. But it just didn't feel like a family movie. And especially just the way that they shoehorned a lot of elements into this movie. I just couldn't believe how bad the writing was. Like, excuse me. Anyways, like I said before, this is just a poor executed movie. I think there were some good ideas that were in the movie, but I felt like that they were just not executed right. Altogether, I think this movie was a real big disappointment, and the fact that it just released 5 years ago. The visual effects, it's okay. It's not the best visual effects. And just the fact that they tried to go with like a realistic, gritty version of Fantastic Four. Like, I think there are certain kinds of characters such as like Batman, Wolverine. Some of those kind of characters, I think they deserve to have a gritty version. But when you have the likes of like the Fantastic Four, you shouldn't do that. No. The acting, I thought it was okay. Especially just how like they were very limited on what they could do with the characters. And overall, this is just a real letdown of a movie that I just really had no idea what was going on, because they would just keep on jumping back and forth of separate stories, and the climactic battle between the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. Like, why? I thought the beam in the sky part was awesome. No. Beam in the sky? That's been done way too many times. Enough with the beam in the sky. Overall, I think this movie is very bland. It's just a complete slow burn. There's nothing for you to be excited about. So, overall, I'm sad to say this, but I give the movie a 3.2 out of 10. So, that was my sarcasm review for the movie Fant4Stic. And so if you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And if you like what you saw, press that like button. And I will see you guys next time.